You know, I often hear the charge that science kind of explains everything, that there's no evidence for God as we look at creation. And I just want to investigate this claim a little bit more. As a Christian, how do we respond to that? And today I'm joined with Michael Gillen. He is a physicist, did his graduate work at Cornell University, taught for a number of years at Harvard, and does science commentary for Fox News. And so let's go see what he has to say. Michael, it's good to have you here today.
Hey, Jeff. Good to see you. Looking forward to this conversation.
Good. So, I mean, as you look, I mean, we're both Christians here. We look and we see evidence of God's creativity and creation. Yeah. So what do you see as the strongest evidence from a scientific perspective for God's handiwork in creation?
It's a good question. The strongest evidence, I suppose I would begin with the mere fact, and it's profound, that the universe is knowable. It's understandable. It's rational. And even Einstein remarked that the most incomprehensible thing about the universe is that it's comprehensible.
Yeah, that is kind of something we just take for granted.
We take it for granted, and we shouldn't. I mean, to me, that right off the starting gate, right out of the starting gate, that's huge. And, let's take it even a step further. Eugene Wigner, famous mathematician, remarked also about the uncanny usefulness of mathematics in explaining the universe. So that not only is the universe rational, but it is knowable through the most kind of rational language we know, which is mathematics. So I would say that is the biggest evidence, Jeff.
That is a remarkable thing. And I don't know, kind of interested in your experience, but I remember taking some mathematics classes where we're doing stuff that just seems like it's hocus pocus.
Yeah.
Complex variables and all these things.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Lo and behold, you actually use those in my electromagnetism classes and solve stuff. And it is really a remarkable thing.
Hey, let me tell you, when I was a grad student and I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do for my thesis, I landed on the idea that I wanted to explain why the galaxies were arranged in deep space the way they are. They have a very particular order to them. This was first discovered by a guy named P.J.E. Peebles at Princeton. And it fascinated me. And being a theoretician, I thought, how do I explain that? How do I explain that this order came about from presumably a random beginning? And I decided that I was going to use a set of equations known as the BBGKY equations. They stand for the initials of the people who first came up. These are equations that are typically used in kinetic theory to talk about the interactions of many particles, like a gas typically, right? So I thought to myself, well, I can liken these gas particles to the galaxies, and let me use this same mathematical formalism. And I remember working on it, trying to make these BBGKY equations help me understand the order of the galaxies. And one day I was walking across campus, just deep in thought about these equations just weren't working for me for a while. I was getting really frustrated. You know the feeling, right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you can live with a problem for months, even years. And I just remember this one day walking across campus and something came to me and I thought, oh my gosh. I remember that the ratio of these two variables in the BBGKY equation would yield the Hubble constant. And I thought, whoa, this is like major breakthrough, because no one would have ever expected that out of equations designed for kinetic theory, you would have a variable that is so significant in cosmology and in astrophysics. So I got really excited, ran back to my office, started writing in reams of paper, and sure enough, I was able to develop these equations to tell me something about the heavens. Now, that is awesome. All right? I mean, to me, that is the strongest evidence that there has to be a rational mind behind the universe, that this didn't come out of just some kind of random, accidental set of circumstances. It's hard for me to believe.
No, and I agree, and I just kind of want to explore that just a little bit before we end here. It's like, so what is it about the rationality or the understandability that you think points towards Christianity as opposed to Islam or atheism or Buddhism, if you will?
And I've explored all of those religions. And for me, I think what it boils down to is the account of the beginning of the universe in Genesis. It's and I know a lot of people kind of pick it apart and this sort of thing. But when you look at it serious-mindedly, with an open mind, not with a prejudiced mind, it really is quite remarkable. its description of the origins of the universe, the origins of our planet and life on our planet. It comes closest, in my opinion, to really being in sync with our latest scientific understanding of the beginnings of all that. I can be a Christian and live comfortably as a scientist knowing what I do about the universe and what science says about the universe.